Okay. Yeah, brother, you can start.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في كل وقت وحين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت، وعافنا فيمن عافيت، وتولنا فيمن توليت، وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت، وقنا واصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت، فإنك سبحانك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك، إنه لا يذل من وليت ولا يعز من عليك. تبارك ربنا وتعاليت، لك الحمد على ما قضيت، ولك الشكر على ما أنعمت به علينا وأوليت. نستغفرك اللهم من كل ذنب وخطيئة ونتوب إليك، ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك. أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء إليك. اللهم هب لنا منك عملا صالحا يقربنا إليك. اللهم لا تخزنا يوم العرض عليك. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. اللهم متعنا بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقوتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا، ولا مبلغ علمنا، ولا إلى النار مصيرنا، يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت، خلقتني وأنا عبدك، وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت، أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت، أبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي، فاغفر لي، فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. اللهم إنا عبيدك، أولاد عبيدك، أولاد إمائك، نواصينا بيدك، ماض فينا حكمك، عدل فينا قضاءك. نسألك اللهم بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك، أو أنزلته في كتابك، أو علمته أحدا من خلقك، أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك، أن تجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا، ونور أبصارنا، وجلاء همنا، وذهاب غمنا وحزننا، يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا، وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا، وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار على الوجه الذي يرضيك عنا، يا أرحم الراحمين. Dear brothers, sisters, and children, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all to another Jumma from Upper Westchester Muslim Society in Pleasantville, New York. Inshallah, tomorrow it will be the 10th of the month of Muharram, and this is remind you and myself for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam what he said about that day, and it was confirmed sunnah, inshallah. We used to, subhanallah, that this is to the whole community fast that day, and we celebrate and we break in our fast, okay, together. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove that this waba and this bala, to get back to normal life, inshallah. Okay, today, inshallah, after Adhan, we have Khutbah by Brother Khusru, and followed by a brief announcement by Brother Hussein Zobi, inshallah. And just to remind you, for whoever not here in the mosque, please, if you are home or at work, you pray Zuhr for Rakah, inshallah. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Oh, in the center. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إن الحمد لله ونحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يضلل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. All praises for Allah. We seek His help and His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the evil of our souls and from our bad deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides will never be led astray, and whomsoever Allah leads astray, no one can guide. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His slave and messenger. My objective today, as always, is to try to understand the Quran sitting in the 21st century. We are surrounded by many things today which are explainable, and many more things which are still not explainable. When the Quran was revealed to mankind, human knowledge was not as advanced. Today, we have the benefit of greater worldly knowledge. But the one fundamental that is considered, that is consistent, is that which relies purely on faith. And that is two things: the existence of the Creator and the purpose behind creation. So in trying to understand this khutbah and its focus is entirely on some verses of the Surah Al-Baqarah. And I will go through these verses of the surah and see what we can learn from them. There are about 7 or 8 of these verses, all from the Surah Al-Baqarah, and they sort of go from verse 153 to 186. So let me begin by reading out to you verse 164. And I'm sure you have heard this before. Behold, in the creation of the heaven and the earth, in the alternation of the night and day, in the sailing of the ships through the ocean for the profit of mankind, in the rain which Allah sends down from the skies, and the life which He gives therewith to an earth that is dead, in the beasts of all kinds that He scatters around the earth, in the change of the winds and the clouds, which they trail like their slaves between the sky and the earth. Here indeed are signs for a people that are wise. I'm going to summarize this, in everyday language, the points that are raised here. Alternation of the night and day. This means that the earth spins around the sun. If the earth stops rotating, the earth will be destroyed. Sailing of the ships for the profit of mankind. This means the use of the seas to transport, to trade, and to connect civilizations. The bringing of rain to keep the earth alive. This means without rain, agriculture will die, forests will not flourish, rivers will dry up, and animals will die. The beasts of all kinds scattered through the earth. This means animals provide us with food, transportation, help in agriculture, and help in learning about the laws of nature and the laws of survival. The change of the winds. This means how useful winds are for shipping, for flying, for drying, for so many things. Signs for people that are wise. What are these signs? I want to point out from this verse at least 4 signs. Number 1, this is surely proof of the existence of God, an all-powerful entity that has created all of this. Number 2, it shows that there is an order and a law that guides everything. It's not happening by magic. Number 3, mankind is required to study these laws and understand them and harness them to lead better lives. And number 4, God is not running the world on a day-to-day basis. He has made laws which if we understand them, then we will understand that they create cause and effect. If we put our hands in the fire, it will burn our hand and we may lose it forever. It's a law. If we do not educate ourselves, we will remain ignorant and eventually be dominated by others. Another law. These are just a few examples. So we have this creation. So why did God create all this? He has made laws. The answer can be to allow mankind to lead righteous lives. So we may well ask ourselves, what are righteous lives? What is righteousness? And you can fill whole books on this subject. And I would encourage you to read such books, to read as many books as you can. Or you can make a beginning by understanding just one verse from the Quran. This is verse 177. And it says, "It is not righteousness that ye turn your faces toward east or west. But it is righteousness to believe in Allah and the last day and the angels and the book and the messengers, to spend your substance out of love for Him, for your kin, for orphans, for the needy, for the wayfarer, for those who ask, and for the ransom of slaves, to be steadfast in prayer and practice regular charity, to fulfill the contracts which ye have made, and to be firm and patient in pain or suffering and adversity, and throughout all periods of panic." Such are the people of truth and God-fearing. So we are not just required to prostrate ourselves and worship. We are required to understand these laws and understand what can help us and what can harm us. We cannot just rely on dua. We can ask God what we like, but remember, God helps those who help themselves. Billions of people raising their hands every day asking God to resolve the plight of Muslims in Kashmir and Palestine has so far not resulted in God doing any such thing. If we do not follow the laws of God, why should God help us? Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying to you, do not make dua. I'm not saying that. I am saying that the best dua you can make is to ask for help in following the right path. I'm saying that while you make dua, resolve to take all the steps needed to fulfill that dua. Although God says in verse 186, when my servant asks thee concerning me, I am indeed close to them. I listen to the prayer of every supplicant when he calleth on me. Let them also with a will listen to my call and believe in me, that they may walk in the right way. So what does this mean? This does not mean do not call for my help when you make dua. It says, I am listening to you. But it also says, are you listening to me? This is exactly what it says. Let them also with a will listen to my call. In the same verse, I'm listening to you. But are you listening to me also? Or are you just sort of saying, do this, do that, give me this, give me that? We should remember that the same laws that create also destroy. The same wind that helps ships to sail also creates hurricanes. Let us look at a fundamental law that can either destroy us or give us salvation. Verse 171. The parable of those who reject faith is as if one were to shout like a goat herd to things that listen to nothing but calls and cries. Deaf, dumb, and blind, they are void of wisdom. This is the law. Those who set off in the wrong direction will stop being guided. It's the law. God doesn't interfere and sort of say, okay, you're going in the wrong direction, I will stop you. No. It will happen. Verse 153 says, O ye who believe, seek help with patient perseverance and prayer, for Allah is with those who patiently persevere. And 157 says, they are those on whom descend blessings from Allah and mercy, and they are the ones that receive guidance. This says, therefore, that those who set off in the right direction will gain more and more insight into the truth. Automatically. You take one step towards God, He will take 10 steps towards you. You go away from Him, He will go away from you. It is the same law. The law is if you make an effort, you will be rewarded with the results. If you make an effort to achieve power and untold wealth, then you could achieve all of this. But along the way, you may cheat and lie and become unscrupulous. and stab your allies in the back. In the process, you may break 1,000 other laws and become a person devoid of any morality or humanity. But you could achieve both power and untold wealth. At the same time, if you make an effort to search for truth and be guided by whatever your Creator has asked of you, then your hand will be strengthened. Not necessarily by worldly success, but by understanding better what is required of you. So I'm going to repeat verses 155, 156, 157. Be sure we shall test you with something of fear and hunger, some loss in goods or lives or the fruits of your toil. But give glad tidings to those who patiently persevere, who save and afflicted with calamity. To Allah we belong, and to Him is our return. They are those on whom descend blessings from Allah and mercy, and they are the ones that receive guidance. Inshallah, I will conclude in the second part of my khutbah. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. There are 6 points that I want to conclude this with. This is what I want you to take away from this khutbah. So I'm just summarizing. Number 1, God is not running the world on a day-to-day basis. Number 2, God has created laws to run the world from beginning to end. These are the laws of physics and chemistry and mathematics and biology and botany and psychology and spirituality and many, many, many other laws, including the lessons that we learn from history. There's a lot we have to learn. Number 3, it is incumbent on us to study and observe and use these laws to lead better lives. It is the law of spirituality that teaches us to be humble. It is the law of humility that teaches us to prostrate before our Creator and to seek His forgiveness and His guidance. Number 4, when we make dua and ask God to interfere on day-to-day matters, then we should be ready to believe that however He answers our dua, it is for the best. Number 5, the best form of worship is to observe and study the laws that we see and live by. Number 6, and finally, there is one law that says that if you set off in the wrong direction, you will end up in the wrong destination. Any destination that we set which is not consistent with the final meeting with our Creator will take us in the wrong direction. Be very careful when you set your GPS. It is possible that by the time you realize that you are headed in the wrong direction, you will have run out of time to reverse course. May Allah guide us and forgive us and teach us to learn about Him and His laws. Let us say our prayers.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Oh, wow. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Just a few brief announcements, inshallah. First, please make dua for our dear brother, Isam Abdul Khaliq. He had recently some health issues, and may Allah grant him speedy, complete shifa, inshallah. Also, please make dua for our dear brother, Dr. Saeed Ali, who is continuing to deal with health issues. May Allah also grant him speedy and complete shifa, inshallah. Regarding our Islamic school, it is set to begin virtually on Saturday, September 12th. Please do your best to register as soon as possible. But officially, it will start on September 12th, inshallah. Along those lines, there is a special teachers training session scheduled for this Sunday, August 30th at 1 p.m. at the masjid. And virtual, inshallah. And it will be for those who are teaching the Islamic school. So if you know anyone, please just remind them. Also, I was asked to remind everyone regarding voting. While, as you know, UWMS cannot endorse any particular candidate, we do encourage everyone to do their civic duty and vote. Please register if you haven't already to vote, and vote, of course, for whomever you like. But we need to make our voices heard. As our dear brother Keith Ellison, former congressman and now Minnesota Attorney General, once told us, Muslims are either at the political table or they will be on the menu. So please vote. Finally, please don't forget the masjid on your way out and the donation boxes. We continue to have expenses, and they will grow as the season turns into fall and winter. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.